Hi everyone, Shashank this side. I hope you are doing well today and safe at home. As you can see on my screen, today we'll be going to learn on how to automate our patching stuff with the help of AWS Systems Manager. Again, AWS Systems Manager gives us a visibility and control over AWS infrastructure, and it provides hell lot of functionality to automate our stuff related to application deployment, related to infrastructure provisioning. Out of that, one of the functionality that it provides is to automate your patching stuff. Instead of doing a manual patching on your operating systems, automate that stuff right away. Again, I have created one video on how to use AWS Systems Manager to automate your AMI, where you can just configure few steps and that will going to automate all the patch update, all the agent update in background with the help of Systems Manager. I'll share the link just to give you a clear understanding what AWS Systems Manager can do with the help of automation. So let's review some point and I'll jump away right quickly to my AWS Management Console to show you how this works. So AWS Systems Manager Patch Manager automates the process of patching, manage instance with both security related and other type of updates. Again, so AWS Systems Manager has a different modules integrated with it. One of that is called Patch Manager. So Patch Manager help us to automate our patching stuff. And again, all the instances that needs to be patched with Systems Manager has to be assigned as a managed instance. So for that, you have to create a role. That's a prerequisite where we have to create a Systems Manager IAM role, assign that role to my EC2 instance so that that instance can be get inserted into or considered as managed instance. From there onward, we can take actions as per our requirement with the help of Systems Manager, and we can do all other stuff related to patch or deployments. You can patch, you can use Patch Manager to apply patches for both operating systems and applications. On Windows Server, application support is limited to update for Microsoft applications. Again, as I said, this is regardless of the OS platform. We can do the patching of our applications as well. We can do patching of our operating systems as well. Patch Manager uses patch baseline. So we create a baseline with Patch Manager where we basically, based upon our requirement, what kind of patches needs to be rolled out to our servers. We select that, we approve that. That is kind of an auto approval. We create a rule that has an auto approval that these are the patches within few days of release. Just upload it to my Windows server or Linux server. As well as we can reject certain number of patches which are not required for our systems. So this is how the patch manager works in background. So there are like few prerequisites of patch manager. One is you have to use SSM agent. The version is at least 2.0.834 or later. Without SSM agent, you won't be able to perform any kind of action with Systems Manager. So I'll be sharing this link of a prerequisite with you guys so that you can go through that. So let's jump to our AWS Management Console. I'll show you how to do the configuration. I'm into Systems Manager. If you go to Services and search for SSM, you will get Systems Manager. That's the dashboard. Again, to do a automation of the patch update, we need some instances. So I already have few instances. These are two Windows boxes. I'll quickly provision few Linux box as well. Let's go with Amazon Linux and T2 Micro. Come on. Configure. I'll go with two instance with this VPC and public subnet. This is the role that I have created. I'll show you the IAM console how to create a role. Tagging Linux SSM server 1. Review and launch an instance, view instances. So before going into Systems Manager, there is a prerequisite to create or give a permission. That's why I have used a role called Amazon EC2 role for SSM, how to create that. So go to services, IAM. So we are trying to create a role that will give permission to perform all the actions and operations by systems manager on EC2 instance, right? So go to roles, click on create role. So we are trying to give permissions on EC2. So EC2, select EC2 and search for SSM. So we'll be using Amazon EC2 role for SSM. Next tag, review, and give the name. That's what I have done with my role section. So I'll show you the role that I have created. Okay, where is that? Let's search for SSM. This is the role that I have created. So if you expand this and see the summary, this has CloudWatch because that will be logging all the logs in the CloudWatch, EC2, S3, SSM, and Systems Manager. Okay, let's go back to our EC2 instance. Now, to check whether my instances are present as part of manage instance or SSM has been installed properly or not, where we can check. So in instances and nodes section, we have something called manage instance. Click on manage instance. And I can see the two Windows instances are already listed over here. As I said, SSM works on SSM agent. So I have used 2016, Windows Server 2016. By default, Windows Server 2016 comes with SSM agent installed on it, and we have given a role permission as well. Sooner we'll be seeing the Linux instance as well over here. So these are two manage instance that we have. To do automation of the patching, what we have to do, we have to go to patch manager. It's on the left on the same section. Click on patch manager. Now AWS Systems Manager, Patch Manager automate the patching with a native AWS solution. It's a centralized management for patching of your fleet EC2, Windows and Linux instances or your on-premise servers with the virtual machines. We can do that as well. How it works, use the default patch baseline or create your own. You can, so Amazon has provided us a list of default patch baselines as well, or we can create our own. I'll show you both. Organize the instances into the patch group and automate the patching by scheduling your maintenance window and monitor the patch status. So here we have something called predefined patch baselines. Click on that. So these are the few defined patch baselines for Windows. You can see SUSE Linux, Red Hat, Windows, Amazon Linux, and all those things. So let's click on default patch baseline for Windows. View details. Now, if you see this, the classification has been done only for critical and the security updates. Severity is critical and important, and auto approval is required. Wait 7 days before approving it. So let's say we have a patch released today, so we have to wait for 7 days to monitor that, because as I said, uh, there is a mechanism where it uses a snapshot in background which has all the patch installed in it. So we use that patch baseline to install the patches on the server. So we have to wait for 7 days. That's an default rule provided by default patch baseline. Okay, patch exceptions, we don't have any. We have only one, like approve patches compliance level is unspecified, reject patches action allow as dependency. Okay, this is the Windows patch baseline, the default one. Again, go to the default. If we select Amazon Linux, this is the default patch baseline for Amazon Linux. And you cannot edit the default patch baseline provided by Amazon. Critical and important, wait for 7 days for approval. Bug fix, again, we have same functionality provided over here. Now, how to use these patch baseline? Before that, I'll just quickly check the manage instance whether my Linux instances are there or not. Still not there. That's taking a bit of time. That's fine. So go to patch manager. Now how you can use a default patch baseline. First, I'll show you how to use a default patch baseline. And second, I'll show you how to create your own. So click on Windows default patch baseline, go to the actions, modify patch group. Now, here you have to do tagging before doing any kind of patch operations, right, to your EC2 instances. Now, how we can do that? Go to your EC2 instances. This is a dashboard. Go to the tag section. Here we have something called manage tag. Click on manage tag. So you can see like my Windows instances are having a patch group of name called production. I'll add that for Linux as well. I'll override that. This will ask you that this is already there, so this will going to override. Click continue, and here we go. We have a patch group for all my 4 systems. Now, based upon this tagging, we will be going to patch our systems. You can select individually as well to patch your system, but it's better to use a patch group. Again, go to default because we have added it, so that will going to reflect after a refresh. Actions, modify patch group, production, add, close. So this is something we have done with Windows. I'll do same for Linux. Actions, modify patch group. It's already there. Awesome. Now next, again, click on configure patching. Here we have 3 options. Enter the instance tag name. You can, whatever tag name you have defined, like name and instance name, you can give that, or a common tag for all your instance group. Like for Linux we have one group, for Windows we have one group. So I have selected patch group, which is production. Here you can select existing maintenance window, or you can schedule a new maintenance window. You can use a cron expression as well. Maintenance window run frequency is like every 30 minutes, or based upon your requirement, 1 hour or 2 hour, or every day. Let's say every Saturday. Come on. And 200 hours. Maintenance window duration, maximum number of hours allowed for the maintenance window. As per your requirement, you can change this number. Window name, let's say weekly maintenance. We have 2 options, scan and install and scan only. Scan and install will be going to scan the server first, download all the patches, and then it will going to install. Scan only will go only going to regenerate the list. So let's configure patching. Okay, we cannot have a space as per Amazon. Fine. Here we go. We have a successfully configured patch deployment window, like every Saturday with a cron expression of 200 hours. This will going to get executed. Now this is one way of doing your configuration on your patching site for every week. Second, you can do like an on-demand patching as well. How to do that? I'll show you right away. Again, we'll go to patch manager, configure patching, select the group, its production, skip the maintenance, scan and install, configure patching, view the detail. Now what this will going to do, as you can see, we have 2 instances already there, one with 885 and one with 107. So the best thing with this particular AWS Systems Manager, that whether you have created one tag like production for your Linux as well as your for Windows, right? So Windows instances will get only Windows patches. Let's say for example, Windows patches, Windows security patches are there. If we have a Linux system for that, it will going to skip the Linux system. It will operate only on the Windows system. That's the best part of our systems manager. Again, this will going to take some time because these are fresh system, and once that is done we will be able to see the output. As of now it's blank because it's in progress. And again, it uses run command in background, because run command is a module where you will be seeing every kind of automated module. For example, let's say if you click on run command, you will going to see all the modules that we have listed over here. It's almost like 5 or 10 pages modules. So for example, install Windows Update, run Docker action, run Ansible playbook. These are one-liner command which you can use to run your Ansible playbook from Systems Manager to your Linux system or Windows system. That totally depends how you are trying to focus on your environment. So Amazon Systems Manager uses run command to perform most of your updates, regardless of your deployments to the application, regardless of your patching. So let's go back to run command. It's still going. So I'll show you one previously created run command. This is for one of the Windows instance that I have created. So this is my Windows instance. If we click on view output, click on step 1. Now, downloading the patch baseline operations PowerShell module, extracting the patch baseline as a zip format, successfully downloaded, installed a PowerShell module. You will going to see the operation type is installed, every single detail with this particular installation of your patches. So this is trying to gather all the information, what kind of patches it's installing in background for all the systems, and at what step it's failing as well. We'll be getting that information too. Second, it's patch Linux. So as I said, step execution has been skipped because it's an incompatible platform with Linux. I have done only for the Windows previously. So that's why it's showing like this. So you'll be getting two outputs. One is step 1 and one is step 2. Mostly it's one another. Step 1, if you're executing in front of Linux, then you will be getting all the Linux detail with step 1, and step 2 will be your Windows, where it will gonna show you this execution has been skipped. Again, go back to run command. As I said, this will going to take some time to reflect in the console. So as of now, one instance has already been done. So let's click on that instance and see the output. This will going to show you the patch group that we have created, baseline ID, snapshot ID, reboot required or not, operation type is install count is 12, and all those operations that has been performed by this patch baseline snapshot is written over here as an output. Okay, so the second instance will gonna take some time. The next step, I just want to show you how to configure your own baseline. So this is something we have used the default one provided by Amazon. Let's configure our own baseline. So for that, okay, so patch manager again, baseline, create a patch baseline. You can give this name as your company name, like test baseline. Windows or Linux, you can select your operating system. You can set this as your default baseline with all your restrictions and with all the values are allowed with this particular baseline, which you can use for your environment. Now here are the products. By default it is all. You can select as per your requirement. My environment is Windows 2016 with classifications what we want, like critical updates, then I want feature packs, security updates, all those things. Severity, critical, important, moderate, and low. Auto approval. Specify how to select these auto approval updates. Approve the patches after specified number of days, or approve the patches release up to the specific date. I would say let's use like 21 days. Again, that totally depends upon your requirement, how you want to give your approval once the patch has been released. So let's say after 21 days, this will going to apply patches to my operating system or the environment. Patch exceptions, you can exclude your KB article. Since it is Windows, you can exclude your KB article. You can reject your KB article as well. Approve and reject are there. Allow on dependency, or you want to block. And just create patch baseline. Here we go. This is our standard patch baseline that we have created. Again, I have just showed it to you how to create your own baseline instead of using a default by Amazon, because we don't know what are the things that Amazon is using in background, or what are the KB articles that Amazon is pushing it to our servers. So that's how you can define your patch baseline, and the same process, use this patch baseline to configure your automation of the patching. There is one important concept, how the patching works in background. Just wanted to brief you on that. So whenever patch operations performed on the server instance, so instance required a snapshot, right, which has all the appropriate patch baseline from the systems manager. A snapshot consists of all your available updates in the patch baseline that have been approved for the deployment. So for example, you have created a patch baseline for your system. Now within that, you are giving all your default deployment model, like you want some security updates, you don't want some service packs and all those things for your environment, right? So Amazon Systems Manager uses a snapshot. It creates a snapshot in background, uses that snapshot that has all your updated patch, which is approved for the deployment. The list of that updates is sent to the Windows or Linux update API, which determines needs to be updated for the applicable environment in your instance. So that's how this works in terms of the background mechanism of the patch manager. As I showed it to you, if you go to run command again, come on. Oh, this has been done. Okay, it's failed. Why it's failed? We can check that as well. View the output. Step 1. Downloading the patch baseline PowerShell module from this, extracting blah blah blah. So we are not getting any kind of patch group. It's not been defined with the patch group. Baseline ID is not there. Snapshot ID is not there. It's all failed because of that. Again, you can take a look why this has not been picked up with all this instance, because one has already been done. Maybe there is a possibility that my tagging has not been reflected properly and I have done before that. Now, as I said, the snapshot ID, this is the snapshot ID consisting of all your approved deployable patches. So that's Amazon Systems Manager uses before it deployed to your system. So I hope this clears a lot why to use Systems Manager and why this is useful to automate your patch environment, because one of the headache part of doing a patching is the manual stuff. You have, let's say, thousands of servers, 500 Linux, 500 Windows, and you cannot go ahead and write a script to do your deployments, right, of the patches. So it's better we are getting an opportunity from Amazon that automates everything, and it takes very less time to update all our systems with the patches. So that's why it's useful to use Amazon Systems Manager. Again, this is like pay as you go model. Whatever the resources you are going to use, you have to pay for that, right? The module is free. So just try it out on your account and check what are the responses are coming into picture for your environment. Just place out a comment in comment section and I'll be there to help you if there is any issue. Have a nice day. Bye bye.